I am Jazzie Carrington, and this is my show, What's Hot with Jazzie. I'm introducing you to some of the hottest, most innovative people around the nation, from pop culture entertainment to people making a difference in your community and mine. So let's get started with What's Hot with Jazzie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to What's Hot with Jazzie. I'm your host today, Jazzie Carrington, and I am so excited for my show today. I have been wanting to do a show like this for a very long time. Well, today I'm excited because we have with us entrepreneur and managing broker with Millennial Real Estate Group, Miss Erika Hudson.
Hello, Miss Jazzie.
Yes, I'm so happy you're here. And like I was telling the viewers, I've been wanting to do this show because I really want to talk about being able to invest in properties or even buy your first home or more homes, but in our community. Mm-hmm. And I think I told you one of the things that I love so much about you is, girl, you are with the culture and the community, you know, and of course you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
And so I really want to talk about that because one of the things, before we get started, we want to know a little bit about you. So how did you get into real estate? Because you've been doing it for a while and you've been doing it very well.
Yeah. So I got into real estate. I came to visit my mother when I graduated school. And, you know, you get your first job out of college and you're like, okay, I'm going to not be able to take any vacations.
Okay.
Right. So when I came to visit her, she just moved to Raleigh. I loved it. And I was like, oh, I want to move here. And back then this was 18, 19 years ago.
Wow.
Right.
You don't even look like we're talking about 18, 19 years ago. Girl, you look like you're 21.
Thank you. So back then they had the real estate channel. They were scrolling properties.
Okay.
There was a 3-bed, 2.5-bath condo, $60,000. You know, in New Jersey, New York, you live with your parents until you get married.
Yeah.
So
because you can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, and luckily for me back then, you could buy a property and not live in the state, and they would still close the mortgage. So,
wow.
I saw the property. I bought the property. I had to, of course, go back until I closed. When I closed on the property, I moved full-time down here. So
I love it. And, you know, I wanted to ask you because I know what a broker does, but just for the viewers and people who might be starting out in their quest for owning their own home or even their own commercial property or, you know, maybe investing in just an investment property. What exactly does a broker do exactly?
So in different states, brokers mean different things. In North Carolina, you're a provisional broker until you take 90 hours of courses after you pass the state exam. So everybody, all agents in North Carolina have to become brokers.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So in other states, that's not the case. But in North Carolina, that is the case. You have to become a broker.
Okay.
I'm a broker in charge of the firm. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more training, a little bit more responsibility. But everybody's a broker that you work with, unless they're provisional brokers, which mean they just graduated out of real estate school.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I've seen that a lot too, because I watch a lot of reality TV.
It's not real. It's not real.
I know. It's like I've seen all this drama in the broker offices. I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's not like that in real life.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask too, because, you know, I was researching and this was a little disheartening to me. So it's in white America, 71.7% of white America own their own homes.
Yeah.
Only 44% of African Americans and people of color are homeowners.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is such a huge, wide gap?
Well, it's systemic, like most things in the U.S. when it comes to race and racism. Back in 50s and 60s, when FHA got rolled out, helping people buy houses.
And this FHA is first-time home buyers. Not necessarily?
Not necessarily, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a government-backed loan program.
Okay, got
That it's easier. The criteria is less strict. It's only 3.5% down. That, and I believe when the GIs were coming home from war, the GI Bill was allowing white servicemen to get loans to buy property, and they weren't allowing black servicemen to do the same thing.
Oh, wow.
With FHA, the same thing. White families had the benefit of getting their first property when, let's think, $20,000 back then. But when it comes to, we always talk about generational wealth, when the grandparents, great-grandparents died, they have property that gets to be inherited to the family, whereas we didn't get that same luxury. So the gap is big, but the fact that it's 41 to 71 when we had one hand tied behind our back and one leg too.
That's still like a big...
It's still a big thing. It's still a big thing.
That's amazing that you say even with that, that's still a big thing. But that still...
It's still some BS.
It's still some BS in the 21st century.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like, you know, being that you've been doing this for a long time, what do you feel as the community and people of color, what do you think that we can do to help change that? Because I feel like so many families, and, you know, we know that a lot of people of color are in low income, and they're developing a lot of new homes, new developments around the country, but especially here in North Carolina. And the prices of living is going through the roof. You know, $3,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment was never heard of here.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so where did these families who are working hard workers, who are not making that kind of money, like, where do they go?
They're going to more rural communities. There's not a my answer that we want to hear, because a lot of us have built our lives in and around city centers, but it's become unaffordable now. Yeah. So they're moving out, but the positive of that is that you're getting larger lots. Okay. You're getting, in a lot of cases, some would say that the homes that are built now, to get an older one and then upgrade it.
You feel like maybe it's better to buy not so new in the home market?
I don't want to say that's not necessarily the case, because it depends on the builder. It depends, and that goes to the price point too. Like,
well, I mean, I have to say, I think I was driving down the street one day, and I swear 3 months earlier, those houses was not there. And all of a sudden, it's like houses, they're sold, people are moved in. I'm like, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah.
It's okay. But I think, you know, so what do you think, your opinion as a first-time home buyer? What would you think would be the best route to go to get more bang for your buck, and to also to be in a good neighborhood, where, especially if you have kids, there's good schools, things. What do you think would be the best way for someone to go about that? So to make sure that they're in a good neighborhood, they're in a good, well-built home, and they're also pretty reasonable pricing.
I mean, there's no advice I can give
really
on that. Like, you know, because some people value this over that. Some people,
that's true.
You know, some people don't want neighborhood that has big lots because they don't want to maintain it. So it all depends on where you are in your life and what you're looking for.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, you know, the thing about it is too, I'm finding, especially with friends of mine that I know, people are really getting more into wanting to invest in commercial property. And which I think is great. We talk about generational wealth, and that's one of the things that they're talking about. And I even saw a video of a girl who moved to Belize. I saw this on Instagram. Okay. And she moved to Belize for that purpose. Because first of all, she liked the fact, she said there was more people of color that look like her. And also the land is cheap, and she's able to build a legacy, she feels. So what do you think about more and more people, especially African Americans, who are able to invest in more commercial property and do to create more generational wealth for our community?
I'm trying to make a politically correct answer to that.
Yeah.
But when you're going abroad to buy property, you have cash. So that's not who we're talking about in the beginning of.
Right.
Right. So like that's two different groups.
Exit. Gotcha.
People who can egress the US and buy things means they have liquid cash.
Right.
And a lot of the issues that we have with within our community buying properties now is that we don't have liquid cash.
Yes.
And we need to rely on programs that can help us with getting our first property, which we talked about when we met about the NACA program.
Yeah, yes, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, NACA.
Yeah, I love NACA. It is a fantastic program for first-time homebuyers. It is neighborhood assistance community. Well, I can't remember what the acronym stands for.
Right.
But it doesn't take into consideration the traditional criteria that banks use that are, if we're honest, prohibitive of us buying properties.
Right.
They will pay your down payment. They will pay your closing costs.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it is the lowest interest rate. It's below market interest rate.
Really?
Yes.
So what's the average interest rate?
Well, it's shifting. I mean, it's gone up. It's gone up 9 times in the last, I think, 12 months.
Okay.
And they're forecasting it to go up further, which is also a barrier to us buying properties right now.
Yeah.
But the market's the market. The prices aren't going to go down. If they do, maybe a little bit. But our specific market, our local market, we have so many people coming in from out of state, big companies coming in from out of state. I personally don't think we're going to see a huge drop in prices. Like the market has slowed down. There's not, you don't have, 50 offers on a property going 100K over anymore.
Yes.
But properties that are nice and that are priced well are still getting multiple offers.
Well, let me ask you, and I'm glad you brought that up about the market. So how true is it once the market stabilizes that eventually the prices do go down?
Prices aren't going down.
So they're not.
Yesterday's price, not today's price. They're not going down.
They're not going.
No. I mean, the thing was before it was just hyperinflated.
Yeah.
So it was like people were like, no, and nobody could say that the market was gonna adjust and kind of correct. Right. Because it was really out of control for, most of last year.
Yeah, it was. It was ridiculous. People were coming with, a lot of people were moving here from up north, making cash offers even over the price.
100K over.
Yeah, but don't you think that kind of comes back to bite though? Once you're trying, especially if you're trying to unload that property, eventually maybe sell it?
Well, I mean, you have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So you have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So were you if you had invested that money in the stock market now, you'd be down. Right. With no place to live.
Yeah. So that's a good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you can look at any number of ways, but at the very end of the day, you need a roof over your head for your family. Mm-hmm. So whether you bought at a really hot time and you felt you paid too much, you bought the house that you liked, you thought it was worth it when you bought it, and enjoy your life in it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. No regrets.
No regrets.
I love that. Well put. Yeah. Fabulous, yeah. Erika. I love it. Well, I know that I'm going to be looking here to buy soon, but out of state. Yeah. I'm looking to relocate to Atlanta.
I know plenty of wonderful agents in Atlanta.
Yay. I'm excited. So, but I don't like to do yard work. I don't cut no grass. Okay. I don't fix the shutters. I don't do none of that.
Okay. That's fair enough.
So I gotta have a condo. So I can't do the yard work. So what would be a good place to start with me living out of state and trying to relocate out of state? And even for others who are trying to relocate to another part of the country, what would be a good place to start in my research?
Well, I would, as I advise my clients, don't have absolutes of what you can't have, right? Because you say, I'm not going to do lawn, I'm not going to do shutters. The thing is, you're not going to do it, but you're going to pay the HOA fee for them to do it for you.
That's true.
So,
but I'm doing that now. I'm paying.
Yeah, but just say you have a nephew that's in the neighborhood and he'll do it for, $20 a week.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to spending, because every year,
like $350.
$350, yeah. So I would say be open. I think everybody be open to the possibilities of all properties, because you never know until you actually get inside of it whether it feels like home to you or not.
Wow, that's a great.
Yeah.
You know what? I love her. I love her. She's so smart. I love you. That's true. So, I'm so happy you came.
Yeah.
And oh my God, this was so great. What I wanted to know before we go for our viewers, what is great advice to give? Because especially our community of people who may not have quite the income, but really they may have good credit. They may have saved, but maybe the income's not there, not a lot of debt, but they do want to move their family into a home and they want to be in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
Do you think that's still possible?
It is, but they have to be flexible on location.
Wow.
That's it. You can buy, there are houses 45 minutes outside of Raleigh that are totally affordable, under $250. In Wake County, the average properties, I think, $425. So not being so tied to the image in your head of where you want to live.
Yes.
If you want to own a home, you can own a home. It might not be in downtown Raleigh. It might not be in Wake Forest, but it might be in Goldsboro. It might be in Wilson. It might be in Sanford.
Well, Goldsboro, what I heard is they're coming up.
And exactly. And that's another thing. So as this area continues to grow, buying in those outer lying cities is a great investment. And it might not be like, oh, the downtown party life is not there, but so what? Like,
and it's funny you say that, because that's me. Like, I don't need the party life. Been there, done that. But I do like being closer to the city, because I always said I'm like a European, like inside. Like, I'm like, when I live in the city, literally, I'm like an old Parisian lady.
Okay.
I'm the woman who throws on her scarves and her dark glasses and goes to the market and just walks to the market.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
But, and you're right, not being tied. So how can I get that? Because I have a picture and I will keep a picture to the depths.
You know what? Okay, I have a very important thing to say about that. Your first home is going to be your stepping stone home. It's not going to be the one that has everything on your check mark.
Okay.
Or your check boxes, but it will allow you, the equity you have in that home will allow you to get closer to what your ideal home is when either you rent it out or you sell it. So starting somewhere, getting something. I remember my first place was that 3-bed, 2.5-bath condo of $60,000. And 18 years later, they're selling for $215,000. I had to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It was a good investment. It was a good purchase.
So it's more like, treat it more like a good investment instead of so focused
I need it to be perfect. No, you need not to be paying somebody else's mortgage. That's what you need to do.
Yeah,
that's it.
I love that. I love it. Thank you so much, Erika. This was wonderful. This was wonderful. And thank you so much, because I think those were some really good pertinent points, because I think it's so many, the world that we're living in now, I think people more than ever, we're talking more about race, and we're talking about the challenges, and we're talking more. And I really think this is a part of it. I think there's a challenge in the home market and the real estate market with people being able to move and get the homes that they want.
I will say this, that my office, we specialize in helping people get into properties, helping them understand the process, helping them choose the programs that are going to be most beneficial for them to use to actually get financing to get into the property. So reach out to us. We would love to help you guys.
I love it. So I know you have a website so that people can reach out, your website and your Instagram.
Yeah, so it's Millennial Group NC on Instagram, and it's millennialgroupnc.com on the internet. But
okay, awesome.
Instagram is great, or 919-300-5659 will patch you into our office, and somebody will be happy to help you.
I love it. Wonderful. Well, you heard it here on What's Hot with Jazzie. So go ahead, get that new home because you can do it. I love it. Thank you, Erika, for coming. I have enjoyed sitting down with you.
Pleasure.
This has been wonderful. And thank you again for watching another fantastic episode of What's Hot with Jazzie. I'm your host today, Jazzie Carrington. And until next time, I'm out.